Welcome to the Tap in Your Purpose podcast. Hi, this is Cheryl, and today I bring you 3 quick tips for dealing with the emotional ups and downs of building a business. Building a business has caused intense emotional roller coaster rides in my life. Who would have imagined that the solution I was envisioning for getting rid of my work problems would have this dark side? I had the idea that working for myself would be my ticket out of mobbing from bosses, lack of meaning in my job, or feeling forced to do things in a job that I couldn't care less. Partially by starting my own business, I left all those things behind, yes, except that now, the one putting all the pressure on me, it's me. Let me tell you why. I've always considered myself a very practical, down-to-earth, smart gal. But that's only half of the story because I live in the body of a highly sensitive person. And that changes everything. I can count the number of times in which my entrepreneurial journey has put me on the verge, the many bumps in the road I've encountered, and the emotional pain that has surfaced in me. As the saying goes, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Or paraphrasing my mentor, Nick Williams, creating your own business is the biggest personal growth class you can enroll into. There have been many times when I've been on the brink of throwing the towel, but yet always a tiny bit of hope has kept me going. I don't really know what has pushed me forward, but maybe I'm just too stubborn to quit. From all those dark moments, one thing has always stood up for me. When you are in the middle of an emotional emergency in your business, the thing you most need is support. Specifically, 3 kinds of support I'll share with you in a moment, but first, let me share with you the most common triggers that I've encountered or seen in other entrepreneurs along the years. Does any one of them sound familiar? First, you decided upon a course of action, took some steps, only to discover later that it was a shiny object syndrome that led you nowhere near to where you wanted really to be. Number 2, keeping too high expectations for yourself or what your business will be able to accomplish too soon. Then feeling disappointed when you don't get the results you were expecting to have. 3, being too hard on yourself for the mistakes you've made. Allowing thoughts like, I should have known better, I must have noticed earlier, to rob you your peace of mind and heart. 4, when clients don't show up as quickly as you were hoping they would, and probably you were needing them to. Or every time the flow of clients stops. 5, not enough income while having payments due in a few days, like office rent or whatever. And 6, every time you learn something new, and you have to admit you've been wrong all along. I could go on and on. I think for me, the biggest trigger has been money. Being financially supported by my husband, while not being able to create the income I needed, even though I was working my you-know-what off. That has always been the hardest, toughest thing to deal with. Another biggie for me has been the self-doubts about working in English and showing up worldwide. Since my main language is Spanish, I've always felt not good enough and who the hell I think I am kind of thought stopping me. Which one of these is your biggest emotional trigger? Charles' coaching tip for you today. If you are caught in the middle of one emotional roller coaster, there are 3 basic things you'll need to restore your peace of mind and heart. Number 1, always remember that, as Michael Neal says, you live in the feelings of your thinking. The amount of emotional pain you are suffering is directly proportional to the amount of nasty things you are saying to yourself. Change your dialogue to something more compassionate and you'll start feeling better immediately. Number 2, get support, both on a physical and on a spiritual level. If you felt you couldn't do it alone, you are right. First, become a member of a mastermind group if you still aren't. Share openly with them and allow them to reflect back to you some of the successes you've had along the years. And secondly, on a spiritual level, develop a strong connection with spirit, whatever you call it. Nurture your heart with remembrance or create some kind of heart coherence inside of you. And 3, learn some kind of emotional release tool. I do tapping, hence the name of this blog and podcast, because it deals at the same time with the physical, the emotional, and the mental causes of emotional pain. I'll leave you one example. You could start by using this tapping sequence. On the karate chop point, even though I've been so hard on myself, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel disappointed because my high expectations haven't been met, I forgive myself anyway. Even though I should have known better, I give myself permission to make mistakes. Then do a few rounds of tapping using this phrase along the tapping points. I release and let go all of the frustrations, disappointment, and sadness I feel right now. Do a couple of rounds of this until you feel better. And now the most important tip. Remember to use these tips to heal your heart whenever you need it. I could never have moved through my emotional pain on my own. Fortunately, I didn't have to, and you don't have either. So thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this article and podcast, please share it with your friends and leave your comments below. Thanks for listening. Until the next time. Bye.